I got to remind everybody as we start 2025 that Games Workshop actively hates you. They want you gone. They don't want you as a fan base. They want you replaced by a modern audience. And they've been signaling this all year, and of course in years past as well, but it's really ramped up in 2024 as people took notice of the female Adeptus Custodes situation. Now, we covered an alleged email that says the company is doubling down by putting out an actual miniature for Horus Heresy 3.0. Now, this has not been confirmed yet. This is all rumor. It's come from a source that is not working with Games Workshop, but claims it's true. But on the flip side, we have people out there who are like kind of actively like hoping and just clinging to Games Workshop, just being like, they're walking it back, they're changing it, and people just won't accept this victory. Well, there's not a victory. Games Workshop has not really said anything about this other than the fact that the guy Gav Thorpe, who wrote the encyclopedia that's in question right now, has said that no, he didn't mean to invalidate Adeptus Custodes having females in there. And so since the author said that, you got to take them at his word, and you got to see what they've done. The tithe is still up. They still show it. Games Workshop has not made any comments about the language, but people are pretending like it's changing for some reason. We got to get into this, and we got to dispel this notion that Games Workshop's listening to their customers or suddenly cares about you or whatever. It's kind of weird. I mean, Warhammer fans are probably some of the most mistreated customer base and fan base in all of fandom out there. They price gouge you. They treat you as pay pigs. It's really, really bad. But here we go. Some people just really want to believe, and I get it. I understand. I love Warhammer 2, but it's time to move on. This company is not going well. It's going in a terrible direction. And, 3D printer, go brr, right? So my name's John Delarose. Hit the like and subscribe button here as we talk about all things in the culture. Really appreciate you being here. Happy New Year, everybody. And I am a sci-fi author myself. I have a 3-book trilogy, Justified, Saga of the Nano Templar. It is Crusading in Space, something you'll absolutely enjoy. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. And book 2 just came out on audio. Book 3 will be out on audio soon. But the other 2 are also available on ebook and print. Grab the whole series. It builds into a very nice climax. Really appreciate you for being here. So if you missed the controversy, what happened was Games Workshop had a side sort of thing. This is a Warhammer Ultimate Guide, and it's an encyclopedia, and it was put out, licensed to a different company that puts out encyclopedias for different fandoms. And they actually had Gav Thorpe, who used to work at Games Workshop until 2008, write the game. Now, write the guide. Now, the guide in here, it said Brotherhoods in a section about the Adeptus Custodes, but as you look at the statement, it says dozens of other sub-organizations, Brotherhoods, and groupings, meaning Brotherhoods might be a part of it. There might be some orders of Adeptus Custodes that are just Brotherhoods, but not all of them. But Wokehammer Els posted this obviously to just like kind of shit post at Games Workshop, right? Now, people ran with this and said, hey, they're removing the female Adeptus Custodes. We won. We pushed back and we won. And it's because of this second line here where it says him upon his investiture. Now, when we talked about this, here's what Gav Thorpe, who wrote this, says, yes, of course there are in terms of female custodes. Not every miniature is included. I don't recall exactly. We may have already finished that section when the series miniature went public. Now, there are no miniatures that have been announced by Games Workshop for female Adeptus Custodes, which fueled speculation that these would be then coming out. Now the tithe has come out. It has a female Adeptus Custode in it. That is a current Games Workshop product. So we know that that's the case. We know the codex of the current Adeptus Custodes does actually mention that in it. And so all of the current Games Workshop iterations in 10th edition right now do push this female Custodes thing. It has not changed. This book did not change. And this guy basically said he didn't know because he thinks they started writing this even before that was put out. And so pretty obvious here. Now, I called this pretty early on because a lot of people were declaring victory on the internet. And I said, hey, guys, Gav Thorpe hasn't worked at Games Workshop since 2008. This is a side project. And it's published by a company called DK. So it's not even, so even though it says him and all this, it's not actually a Games Workshop product and does not actually have anything to do with the current 10th edition. And what's interesting is now the people who are going at this are actually using that exact reasoning as to why Gav Thorpe doesn't know. But again, Gav Thorpe's the guy who wrote this. And if he says he didn't intend that, then you can't take a victory out of this because Games Workshop said nothing about this and has not made any change. So, like I said, Gav Thorpe, who hasn't worked at Games Workshop since 2008, said his opinion that he disagreed. He wrote the book, okay, The Ultimate Guide. So since that, he gave information that can't be reconciled with the existing releases, an unofficial statement, not a company stance. So right, this is exactly what I said, that the company has not said that they're getting rid of the Adeptus Custodes. Actually, this Marshall Bowman guy, Space Crusader, whatever, is the guy who made it up. He started saying that the female Adeptus Custodes are being walked back, and it's not been talked about at all. And so here it is now, officially decanonized. They didn't get officially decanonized. Nobody said that never happened, and that's the problem here. So I get it. People really want this. I want it too. I wish Games Workshop would listen to their customer base. I wish they'd do things right. I wish they'd respect their own lore, but they don't. These are woke activists. If you don't believe me on that front at this point, I mean, let's just go back to 2024, guys, because when this all started, this is what happened. Since the first 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodians. Now, anybody who disagreed, if you remember, back in April, people were getting blocked and their comments hidden and the like by this Warhammer official account. Like, they were blocking longtime fans, people who spent lots of money on this stuff just to push this. They got ratioed on their YouTube. They removed comments for it. They went all in on this. Then the Tithe came out several months later with a female Adeptus Custodi in it. And this is their official animation. They put it out there. It's in the printed books for the new codices. That is where they're going with this. Now, there is a new rumor that, again, Horus Heresy 3.0 will be coming, and that there's going to be a Adeptus Custodi miniature in it. The reason I don't doubt it is because of how woke they are. This is what they do every single time. I mean, they had their shill sites, Bell of Lost Souls, attack fans as bigots because of this. They attacked Sargon of Akkad in the books, guys. Like, I mean, it's like you can't make this stuff up. Like, they made the Stormcast Eternals from Warhammer Fantasy. They made a they-them, which they posted up on their website this year. This is an extremely woke company. They are all in on this agenda. They never have respected the fan base, never respected the customers. In fact, they announced price increases right in the middle of this controversy where everybody was upset about this. This is a company that totally hates you. If you go into the Black Library editions of recent stuff and you like start looking at recent books, all their new people who are continuing to write for this company are woke activists. And in fact, the guy who wrote this whole book that's being talked about, and again, this is such like cognitive dissonance. So this is Warhammer 40K, Ultimate Guides, and he says female custodies got officially decanonized by Games Workshop. One, this is not a Games Workshop product; it's a DK product. Okay. Then he says Gav Thorpe hasn't worked there since 2008. Gav Thorpe wrote the book. So if Gav Thorpe says, no, that didn't happen in my book that I wrote, which you're using as evidence that it's decanonized, I mean, it's just like such gobbledygook, illogical thinking here. These companies hate you. Warhammer 40K does not want you as their customer. This has been going on the entire time. I don't know why this is even controversial at this point or why this guy's trying to make this stand and like standing on behalf of Games Workshop, but a lot of people are all up in arms about it, and it's very, very weird. So this is what happens every single time. Even the Gav Thorpe guy, he's on Blue Sky. I mean, you know, come on, let's talk about this. These writers being on Blue Sky and posting on Blue Sky is a political activism woke move itself. So all of these people absolutely are all in on this agenda. We've got pronouns in Warhammer Fantasy. We've got Adeptus Custodes that are female in the Tithe, right? And Games Workshop has done nothing but say that they want to be diverse and inclusive and change their fan base, much like Dungeons and Dragons, much like Star Wars, much like everything else. I'm sorry to report this. Don't shoot the messenger. But these companies are terrible. And I get loving your hobby. I get wanting it back. I get like being frustrated about it. But the thing is, it's never coming back. Once these people invade these companies, infest it with the woke mind virus, this is what they do every single time. They keep doubling down. It's a rule. They always lie. They always double down. They always project. And they're just going to keep going until they sink this entire thing. Because the agenda overall, and remember, BlackRock/Vanguard like owns like a stake in Warhammer 40K and Games Workshop too. Yeah, this all goes from the top, guys. But they always will keep pushing even further. They don't care that they're destroying it. It's actually part of the agenda to destroy heroes, destroy good fiction, destroy Western culture. It is something that they actively are attempting to do at this point. And they're our enemy, and that's it. And so, we just have to keep fighting, keep calling them out. and just like stay consistent, because again, this is a non-official product. The writer said he started writing it before that the Custodes were announced that there were females in it, and he says yes, of course they are, even as the writer of it. And Games Workshop has said nothing about this. They've not said they've decanonized Adeptus Custodes that are females. That's like completely made up. So that's all it is. It's very sad. Oh well. So copium's a thing, and I get fan copium. There's a lot of it going on right now. Everybody is so sick of these people that they just are craving these franchises to be saved. I've seen it with the James Gunn Superman thing. I've seen it with Star Wars. It's like it is an epidemic in fandom right now. But you know what? We just got to build our own. We got to do our own different things. We got to 3D print and just enjoy what we had as the old stuff, because it's never coming back. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button, and please grab my 3-book trilogy. This one's never going to get corrupted because it's just me writing it, and I appreciate you guys for being there. It's in the description below. Thanks so much for supporting this wonderful fiction world. I'll plan to write more very, very soon, and I appreciate you for being here.